So, hello and welcome. Thank you for attending this webinar. My name is Fabrice LACROIX, and I'm the founder and the CEO of Untitled. And the purpose of this session is to present Fluid Topics and its new release, version 3. That is a major milestone. For those who don't know us well, Untitled is a leading software vendor specialized in advanced semantic search and content enrichment, which means content classification, text mining, knowledge graphs, all these based on the most advanced machine learning technologies. We have more than 150 customers in many different sectors: publishers, e-commerce, IT, legal, healthcare, and our mission is to help them boost their business performance by better leveraging their content. For some, it's about selling more. For others, it's being more efficient or having happier customers. Fluid Topics is a comprehensive platform for elevating the value of technical content and for making it a key asset of your business and customer relationship. Fluid Topics is a very strategic product for Untitled since it brings all our knowledge and expertise in search and content delivery into a turnkey solution. And when I talk about content delivery, with all respect due to the other delivery product or existing documentation website that I've seen, it's not just about putting a search engine into a web portal and adding few features. It's way more than that. And Fluid Topic is really a game changer, and it's the embodiment of a great vision. And this is what I want to share with you today. Before, technical documentation was paper-based. It was large books, huge libraries. And people had developed work habits around that. And I think enterprises totally failed at the digital transformation of technical content delivery. We can at most consider it as dematerialization. Tons of money is invested in creating, maintaining, and managing technical content in different sources. But static publishing in the form of HTML and PDF wipes all this investment. Users still struggle to find the right information rapidly, to read it easily, and to engage with it. And also, you need to prepare for new devices, new interfaces, and new use case. Your next customer support may be this, an interactive app, maybe even embedded in your product, not to mention the complexity of globalization. Changing content delivery is just the first step towards proactive and predictive user interaction. This may seem highly challenging, but in fact, this is a tremendous opportunity, and you just need the right tool for that. So this is why we have taken 9 months to entirely redesign and redevelop the foundation of Fluid Topics, to bring you the most advanced content processing technologies, package and optimize for a new generation of content delivery, ready for the future. So Fluid Topics version 2, the latest was 2.7, was already a game changer, full of features. Our top semantic search, embedded reader with infinite scrolling, and I'm happy to see that some have started to copy us, but also bookmarking, feedback, personal books. The list is long and our roadmap is even longer. But instead of rushing for even more features that your users may not even need, we have wondered what was essential. What are people really expecting at first? What is it that truly matters to them? And what do you need to get ready for the future? Those were the questions when we thought about redesigning Fluid Topics. And we think there are 3 key things. It's fast, global, and it must be sensing. That's why we need first. So the first thing, above everything, is speed. Every millisecond matters. This is certainly the most important element for a tremendous user experience. It must be fast, even when you have a lousy bandwidth, as if everything was running locally. And if you look at the user experience provided by products like Google or Facebook, this is how every web application must be. This is what people expect from you. This is what they expect from us. So do you know why people love what people love with paper-based documentation? Those plain old books? This is because they can scour them rapidly. They can sift through hundreds of pages in a few seconds, jump directly where they want. So if you don't provide the same capability, the same ease of speed, the same speed of use, you generate frustration. An annoyed user prefer to call you than to lose their time searching. So speed is the most important thing. Everything in Free Topics v3 version 3 has been thought and designed for speed. Technically, this is now a single page application. There's never a page reload, and I will show you that in a minute. So it's really about having immediate display and very, very, very fast navigation. We also optimize the user experience. And we think there are two ways of searching. Either you're looking for information, wherever it is, or you're looking for a book. It's like when you go to a library. Either you know what book you need, and you just want to access it rapidly, to pick it up from the shelf, or you are looking for any information related to an issue without knowing its form and where to find it. So it's really two different types of search. And this is why we have provided this new way of searching. By default, it's for information, and the replies are topics, knowledge-based records, documents. But you can also browse the library, look for the books, and have direct access to them. So I propose we do a little demo, we look at it. And for that, I will use our Discover website. So it's discover.freetopics.com. It's open, it's accessible by anyone, so you will be able to get there after the webinar and try it by yourself. It's based on a subset of our own content, but imagine here could be your content, your color, your logo. Now what I'm going to do is really a nonsense, because showcasing an interface that reacts in milliseconds through a web conference tool that adds second of latency, you see the irony. So please try it by yourself, because everything you see there doesn't reflect at all the new experience we've been trying to develop. So I can start by typing anything, and just to show you the speed, so even nothing, just query the entire tool. So you know that's how fast it is. So that's there is 1,400 results, and it came in a second. I can refine, we can still refine this search dynamically by selecting products, version, whatever. You can add multiple products. And you can see how fast it is. Sometimes I don't even notice if the interface has refined or not. These are the same results. Switch the version. So you see how fast it is. You can still preview content in line with the same speed. So that's really the idea of browsing through the content without leaving the search interface. You can click anywhere like that and look at content. And when you found what you're looking for, when you click on a book, that's how fast it is. So it became big. You see there's no reload anymore. Comes very fast. We have redesigned, as you can notice, for those who have already know Free Topics, we have redesigned parts of the interface. For example, the table of contents has been redesigned. And you can still browse like that. So I don't know what it looks like through the web conference tool, but honestly, when I browse like that, it's like everything was here. And just to let you know, right now I'm in Boston, and the server I'm using, this discoverfreetopics.com server, is in Europe. So it's 6,000 miles away from, kilometers away from here, and I don't even notice that, okay? So you'll be able to check that by yourself. So you see it's very, very fast. If I click here, go back to the search interface, everything refreshes in a millisecond. So we think that's really key to have this speed for a great user experience. You remember I also mentioned this new way of searching, either topics or books. So the book list is here. remove that version. Okay, still books are either structured content authoring based books like this one, or maybe legacy content like PDFs. Okay, still with the capability of filtering, either here or selecting my product version. So there's really two ways of accessing content. For example, I can look for content like that, or information. So the first major objective was speed. The second is global. More and more companies have clients all over the world, so we need to handle the challenges of global content delivery perfectly, which means three things. One, the user interface is now available in 8 languages, and more will come rapidly since adding a new language now takes only a few days. So as you can see, it's now available in English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Japanese, 2 Chinese. And I think we have planned already 2 or 3 more, like Portuguese and Korean and others like that. And we also worked on the way to define how the UI language is set, either automatically by your environment. For example, if Free Topics is embedded in your customer support portal, Free Topics can irritate the language of your customer portal and align so that it's seamless. Or it can be derived from the browser language, or the user can choose. So it's really multiple ways to define that, and it's fully controllable through the configuration. 2, if you have content in multiple language, it's also about defining the search language, not only the UI language. And you may have content in only 2 languages, even though provide the UI in the 8 or 10 languages. And doesn't be no relation between the UI language and the content language. So searching in a given language can be done in multiple ways, either before and by the user who can choose, as you can see here, through a drop down as a list of available content, available languages. And it can also be done afterwards by clicking on facets and refining its search to limit and to filter out documents and limit its search to a specific language. The same way, defining the search language can be set according to the user profile, can be chosen by the user, can be bound or independent from the UI. So in Free Topics version 3 handle all these situations. And searching in a multilingual corpus can be very tricky. And so during this redesign, we have thought a lot about it. And if you need a better understanding, you want a better understanding of the complexity, we have written a blog post on that subject. I advise you can look on our website here. So you go to freetopics.com, and I think on the bottom you see language management in Free Topics. There is an interesting blog post regarding the complexity of searching in a multilingual corpus. And it's not that easy as it seems. You'll see that. So that was UI language, search language, and 3, it's about relevance to be global. So it's just like speed, relevance is critical to the user experience. And both speed and relevance are also related in some way, because if your search engine is lousy, then the user will spend time searching, rephrasing its search, clicking around. So even though the interface is fast, the search experience is really slow, and that gives a tedious user experience. So the search must be highly relevant in all languages. And this is certainly where we make the most difference on the market. So this is where we come from. We come from search technology. We are renowned search specialists with the most advanced semantic search technology. And in version 3, we have increased further our leadership on Asian languages. We are now state-of-the-art in Japanese, And believe me, it's complex. 3 alphabets, transliteration, compound splitting. So I won't do a demo on Japanese or Chinese search because I speak none of these languages. And but it has been validated by our clients. So for example, we've been working a lot with Workday on Japanese. They have experts on that. And really, we are very, very good on these Asian languages. So if you need that, you'll be able to check. There is another point related to fast and global. It's scalable. And FreeTopics is a highly scalable solution. It runs easily on a small PC or virtual machine. So for trade shows, for example, we have a small Mac Mini that we take with us. And but it's designed to scale to a multi-server architecture to cope with heavy load, high availability requirements. And it can serve millions of users at the same speed without any performance decrease. But Fluid Topics can also be deployed in multiple data centers with users being automatically routed to the closest facility, providing fastest access possible. And when it's installed like that, it's really the same Fluid Topics with content, user data, and everything automatically. So when you deploy in multiple locations, it acts as it's like it's a single installation. It's not multiple Fluid Topics running separately. Really, when user connect, it's transparent for user where they're connected. And let me show you why scalability is important. For example, the latency between Delhi in India and Virginia is more than 300 milliseconds. Okay, and that's the time spent just in the wires. So it doesn't even include the time locally in India to reach a user, depending on its internet access bandwidth, plus the time added for rendering by the browser, by the application, and so forth. And this can add 100, 200 milliseconds more. So you see, which means that at the end, just clicking on the button may take half a second to react. So that's a huge impact on ease of use. And to give you an idea, the bottom right table shows you the average time it takes. So it measured from 80, almost 100 different locations in the world to reach an application, depending on the number of data centers it's running in. So for example, if you make it clear, if your application is running in one data center, wherever it is, for example, in Europe or in the US, so the average time to reach that application, the latency from any point in the world, average is more than 100 milliseconds and can be up to 300, half a second we've seen for people that are remote. And for 90% of the queries, it's close to 300 milliseconds, 275. Now for the same application, if you deploy it in 2 data centers, okay, the average speed, the average latency is 85 milliseconds. And for 90% of the queries, it's less than 200 milliseconds. But it means that for 10% of the queries, it's more than 200 milliseconds. And you see the more data centers you add, up to, if you are in 7 data centers, then the average latency is 40 milliseconds, and the 19th percentile is 83 milliseconds. So you see, that's very interesting because depending on where your users are and what experience you want to deliver, you may need to deploy in multiple data centers like that. And we think that 3 data centers are really a good opportunity, a good option, because it's where you have the maximum benefit for the most efficient cost. So this is what you can do with Fluid Topics, and this is also this multiple data centers deployment is something you can do by yourself if you run the license, but this is something that we provide with our SaaS infrastructure to our clients. So we have clients that are deployed in 8 data centers like that, because there are really tons of clients all over the world, and we were able to deploy that in all these data centers. The next point, the third point I mentioned, because I told you there are 3 main things we've been working on for version 3. So first one was speed, second point was being global, and the next point is analytics. And analytics is really a central element of our vision. And we see fluid topics as a sensor. It's not only about delivering content. Fluid topic tracks and logs every user action, searches, read, clicks, everything. And to support the amount of events that it generates, and to reap the value of this wealth of information we collect, we needed a new backend for analytics. So we have redeveloped everything from the ground up. We have integrated a high-end real-time storage and analytic module. So that was a lot of work for us, rethinking all the events that we needed to generate, plus being able to store them on the fly and analyze that in real time. So the results are not yet visible. It's not in the interface right now. So we need to transform that into something visible. But we needed to start with building that foundation. And you're going to see in the next version the results and the benefits of that new architecture for capturing events. Less visible by the users, but still very important. We have also re-engineered the backend processing that receives and analyzes the content. So even if you don't see yet the full potential of what we've done here, it already provides significant improvements. It runs faster, so data processing runs way faster than before. It's more reliable and provides better reporting. We have entirely redeveloped the Authority connector with the support of Authority, and we thank them for that. So we spent a lot of time last summer and fall working with them to develop the right connector. And I know that for some of you listening here that are in this webinar are Authority customers and Fluid Topics customers, and you know that we had some limitation with the previous connectors, so we've been working heavily on that, and now it's available. We have also added automatic facet alignment between content coming from different sources. And last but not least, since it was expected, we have added the support for cross-guide links, and I will show you that in a minute. And other things we've done, so during this heavy re-engineering phase, we have kept, if not enhanced, what makes Fluid Topics an enterprise-grade and innovative solution. So I won't detail everything here, since we will issue a more detailed release note. But you can see we've been improving the single sign-on module. We have been extending the number of APIs and what they deliver and the capabilities of the APIs. And still have the same feature as before. So we haven't removed any features, still have the alert scopes, the bookmarks, feedback, and the personal books. We've been improving a few of them while redeveloping them in version 3. So still the same feature, no major changes, but they're still there. So now let me go back to the Discover website, and let me give you an idea of few things and do a little demo. So, and I give you a rapid tour of the features as well at the same time for some of you that, those of you that don't know well Fluid Topics yet. So sorry for those that already know the product by heart, but at least you'll see the difference and how it behaves now. Let's maybe give you as well a view on the cross-guide links. So let's search for example, metadata. And you see here, for example, this metadata handling. So you've got you see that this topic is reused. It's used in 2 different books. You can preview the content. And if I jump here in that book, yes, here I have examples. So we have 3 types of links now. You see here, this is a link. This is active, and there's a arrow here that explains that if I click there, I will leave Fluid Topics, this environment. So it's linking to an external portal, Fluid Topics website. So that's one type of link, external links. You may have links that are internal to the document. You see those first 3 links here: Secure Tenant Portal, User Authentication Realm. There's no icon here That's because they're internal to the document where I am. So if I click, I'm just jumping in the document. And now you have these cross-guide links. There's a little eye near them, and if I click, this one is not loaded. So that's a good example. We haven't loaded all our corpus. That's the problem. So we resolve the link dynamically. So this points to a document that is present in Discover here. And you see I can preview my topic in line and then jump to the book where it is. So you see here this link points to the technical note. I can just preview preview the topic from here. And if I want to read more, I can just click there, and then I'm changing the book and reading that topic in the other book, so in the technical note. And I can just go back and come back to my Fluid Topics integration guide. So as you've seen here, I had two links that are not resolved, and we resolve them on the fly. It's just because they are pointing to books that are not existing in discoverfluidtopics.com. So we have links, and that was one of the problems of implementing properly cross-guide links, that you may have links pointing to documents that are not existing in Fluid Topics, or not yet because you haven't uploaded them, or maybe not in the right version and so forth. So we resolve that dynamically. So you see there's no 404 error. We just tell you applicatively that this content has not been loaded to Fluid Topics. So for the rest of it, I think you know the main feature. We've seen the reader, we've seen the search. Well, let me search again, or let me search this Fluid Topics features. And so you see in the search result now we've changed a little bit the experience, and the PDFs are rendered and displayed in the same way as any other topic. So we consider now legacy document as topic when we index them. We index the full text of the documents. And I mentioned the fact that we have aligned the facets automatically. So you see here, this topic comes from a CMS. This document comes from another source, and still you see that they have the same facets. So we have added the mechanism. And if I click here on 2.6, well, that's the only document I have on 2.6. That's not a good example. But if I had topics existing in 2.6, well, let's try this. My facet would filter at the same time topics and legacy document coming from the other source. So we merge the facets and we merge the value so that the filters apply to all documents wherever they come from. So I think you've seen a lot of the search interface. The other feature that are existing and that you may know, let's go, for example, let's run any search from anything, use AFS, more documentation for AFS in this demo environment, can read the installation and administration guide. So that's where I am. So I mentioned a few of the feature of Fluid Topics, like the bookmarking capability. So remember, that's part of the experience, that what people used to do when they were working on paper-based documentation, the capability to bookmark and jump rapidly. So here, that's the first icon there, create a bookmark, choose the color, okay, and this has been added to my bookmark list. I can add, let's jump anywhere else, create another bookmark, make it green, okay, and you see my bookmark. So I have two views of the same book, the table of content view or the bookmark view, and I can just click anywhere and jump back to that position in the book. So we have the bookmarks for navigating rapidly and information. You still have the capability to send feedback directly from the user interface. So, hello, nice content. Oops. Okay, so if I click OK, this is sent automatically to my text writing team. So without leaving the interface, people send feedback. And still personal books. Here we've been added a few features like the capability to generate PDFs that was already existing in version 2.7, the beginning of it. We still have ongoing work on this capability. So let me show you. Let's create a book on, I don't know, let's select XSL and say I want to create a small guide around XSL capabilities in AFS. So let's go to that book, and I found something that I like. So this topic, for example. Let's say I want to create a new book, my XSL ref guide. Okay, and if I select one topic, or maybe let's say I select these topics, and just I add them in my new book. I can take anything. Let's go from, I don't know, don't really care about what we select for that book. So let's select this as well, put that in my XSL book. And you see, just as I navigate and find something that is interesting to me, I just select it and put that in my book. And the book, my personal book, is just here. So it's just made of the topics that I have selected. Oh, you see, by the way, when I'm here, we have added the capability to add your own copyright and links at the bottom of the table of contents in free topics that weren't existing in the previous version. So we had requirements for our clients so that they can add a footer. And due to the fact that we have this infinite scrolling experience, this could not be added at the bottom of the entire page, and that was not very nice. So we have added this here. So now you can put the links that you want and the copyright notice that you want in the interface. And this is new in version 3, while I see it. So I'm in my personal book. I can read it. I can reorganize it. I don't want to get rid of this JSON stuff and make this session here, section, the first one. So I select it and click up. Can say take this topic and make it a son of this node. So you see I've got 3 moves and 1 delayed waiting. Just say apply, and my book is reorganized automatically. And as I mentioned, what we have added is the new export capabilities like the export as PDF. So if I click there, I can start PDF generation. So it's generated in the background, so I can continue to navigate. For example, I can add comments on my topic. Save, so there in the book. I can, okay, there we are. My PDF has been generated. So you see here, I can download it. Okay, let's put that in download. My XSLRF guide. And I can open it to show you how it looks. So you see, this is the rendering we have defined for us for this website, for this guide that I've generated. So we can generate the PDF version on the fly of personal books. So the idea of personal books is not to generate PDFs. It's more to keep them live, because then when content is uploaded, when it is modified by you, if you were to change, the tech writing team were to change this topic, for example, my personal book would be updated automatically so that I have the latest version of that topic. Once when I generate a PDF like that, for sure I'm being desynchronized, but at least I can print that, can be sent to someone that needs the paper version for some maintenance operation on the field where there is no computer or nothing possible like that. So you can still generate the PDF. Your comments then are the comments I put afterwards, but you can add you have your comments there in the content as well, everything. So you see, we are working more and more on this personal book, the features around personal book. I think we start developing the internal sharing of personal books in 2 weeks. So we have talked to some of our customers to make sure the requirements and the IDs we had for personal book sharing we are matching their needs. So now we have the use case, and the development will start in 2 weeks. So we'll soon deliver the sharing capability here. So we'll have a share this personal book as well, very soon available. We are a little bit late on that, but version 3 took us a lot of energy and effort, as you can see, because it was really about redeveloping entirely the foundation so that we can reach that level of ease of use and speed. Speed was really the main concern and keyword for us for this reengineering. So we've seen features like bookmarking, personal books, feedback, and share the links to topics. You can create alerts as well. So alerts is really when you want to be notified when there is something new. I'm interested in AFS in version 7.8 and XSL on the XSL subject. There are 14 results. And if I click here, I can create an alert and I will be notified now each and every time there's a new piece of content or something updated in the content that matches that query. So you can really create like that multiple searches and transform them into alerts. So that was to give you a refresh, and for those who know, and otherwise a rapid guided tour of the capabilities of Fluid Topics. And what's coming next? So that was version 3. You see, it may not seem that it does a lot new because those are the same features, but really, believe me, everything is new. Everything has been technically redesigned, and it's really now an amazing product in terms of the capabilities that are now possible are enormous. And now that this is done, so we'll be able to go back to our feature list. And so this is an idea of what comes next. So, this is somehow things we announced maybe a few months ago. So as I told you, because we have taken a lot of time on re-engineering and redeveloping this version 3 and the foundations, we have delayed some of those features, but now we have started working on them again. So for personal book, it's about still enhancing the printing, but developing the sharing part of it. Notification also will be a new feature. So it's going to be an internal notification mechanism, so that, for example, when you share a personal book with someone, you'll be notified of that sharing. Or when you start, when you generate PDFs, you'll be notified in a very nice way when they are ready. So there will be a new notification mechanism. We'll be working very soon as well on rating and comments. And so those are for the end user features. Otherwise, as I told you, now that the new analytics backend is ready, we'll be inserting the first result of these analytics soon in Fluid Topics. And we'll do that in Fluid Topics, not in the back office. So we'll see that was one of the reasons we needed to redevelop the UI as well. Not only to be a single page and fast, but we wanted to make Fluid Topics its own back office. So, the back office of Fluid Topics will be Fluid Topics itself. So that's really interesting as an approach, which means, for example, that the analytics on the content will be displayed within the same Fluid Topics interface, and the interface will be able to morph depending on your use case and your profile, displaying only content, as I showed you, or suddenly having small indications and analytics displayed at the same time as the content. We'll be also introducing new homepage capabilities. So, for example, right now you have this single search box on the homepage. So we'll provide more wizard stuff when you can pre-select product in a nice way. And also we are still working on more formats and more connectors to cope with different needs and different requirements from our customers. So this is roughly what we'll be working on for the next 1 to 6 months, let's say, until fall. So plenty of exciting stuff coming. And I hope you'll enjoy that. So far, this is the end of this webinar. So thank you for attending the presentation. Again, can only repeat that, but free topics is something that you must experience by yourself. So you can go to our website and create an account for accessing all the personal features. So you see personal book, all those. You need to create an account first. So go to discoverfreetopics.com or to freetopics.com and click on the Try It button to create an account. And enjoy the magic of true dynamic delivery. And let us know how you like it and what you feel about it.